Hi there, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of an intercontinental group of awesome. That's my Sunday group where I get to play with folks here in the US where I live, as well as over in Europe. So we call it the intercontinental group. We cross a pond and we play across many, many time zones. Some in the mornings and some in the afternoons and others in the late evenings. This is the first full official session of Apocalypse World Burned Over. We have a session 0 where we created characters, worked out history, and played around a bit in the world, but this will be the first actual session. So let's quickly go over our safety tools. We have lines and veils. We have lines against sexual assault, cannibalism, and gratuitous cruelty presented as entertainment. We have veils against harm to animals, harm to children, and eye injuries. We do not have any ask first at this point, but if anybody adds that in, just give me a nudge, or if you notice that one's been added, let me know. And then we have enthusiastic consent for graphic gore and hella circus shit. So that's cool. The Apocalypse World Burned Over hard zone or setting we're using is created by Sawyer, who's from Ferretheim Games, makes some amazing monster hearts and other supplements. And the hard zone, I keep wanting to say setting or supplement, but it's a hard zone, which is the Burned Over tech, is Carnival of Bullets. So we have a lot of locations that are based around circus related things, but they're pretty violent circus related things. So on top of the lines and veils, we of course always have the X card, which you can use anytime. You can either say, I need to X card a thing, type it into chat, but if somebody sees it in chat and I haven't reacted to it, please let me know. Or we're using a new die roller from John Grimm, the Roll With Me die roller that's in test that has an X card attached to it, which is really cool. I love it. Let's go around the horn and do a quick reminder of who our characters are. They're still fixing in our minds and still being shaped during play. We'll start from the left and go to the right on the character keeper, which means Alex, you get to lead off. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use he, him, and I'm playing Marilyn, the operator, who also uses he, him. The operator, he basically runs gigs around the apocalypse on his rad dual mono wheel thing. And he's tries to be very much in it for himself, but I don't know, he might have a soft side. Yeah.
Good deal. Thank you very much, Alex. Jan, you're up.
Hi, my name is Jan. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Screw Loose, the gear cutter, who also uses he, him pronouns. Screw Loose is a bit of an oddball. That's the name implies already. And he, is very handy with machines and technology, and he got his hands on a gyrocopter, like a little drone copter the last session. So curious to find out what's going on with that, because there was a homing beacon on there or something. And yeah, he's not very good with people, but he's pretty observant and smart in his own way.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Jan. Jen, you're up.
All right, I am Jen. I use the she, her pronouns. I'm playing as Dex, the medic, who also uses she, her pronouns. Dex operates Remedy, which is a cool little place in Dusk Harrow Way, very close to all of the action, though, of Big Top and so on. And at Remedy, you can get your hair cut. You can get a tooth pulled. You can get a tooth filled if you've got a little bit of extra scratch, because dentate doesn't just grow on trees. You can get stitched up. You can get checked out for other illnesses. You can get your laundry done. You can get a meal. I work with Lion and Monk, who are both capable of haircuts, both capable of stitching, and etc. But Monk's the more medical, and Lion is the more aesthetic. And last session, I was patching up Deadeye. And not a whole lot else, really.
That is true. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. And so now it is time for Sabine.
Yeah, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. I am going to play whatever, who is the volatile, and has a lot of weapons. Last session, she shot Deadeye, who then ended up with Dex.
That's right. Just providing more patience. More patience makes more jingle. There's a racket going on here, I can tell.
This is not a service that I require.
Thank you so much, Sabine. Tyler, you're up.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Ariel, the Monarch. And she is an artist. She's a singer and a dancer. And she runs some might call it a cult, but I find that kind of a pejorative term. I prefer artist collective, as we are creative people coming together to make wonderful things that in the end make Ariel a far, far better performer. And we operate out of my Cabaret Fantasia.
Ooh, fancy smancy name. I like it. Cool. All right. With all the introductions done, there are no like highlighting of stats in the burned over version. They're all doing moves attached to stats and other things like taking harm and helping and harming, history stuff. But there are some start of session moves for some of the PCs in our game. Let's see, Alex, I believe you have one ear to the ground.
I do. Okay, I'm going to attempt the rolling. Ear to the ground uses cool.
Mm-hmm.
Adding the name, see if I can save it. It's a little bit twitchy for me. It should be giving me a +2, and it did. I got 14.
What? That is amazing. All right, ear to the ground at the beginning of the session. Whenever there's a break and play, name the location of one of your ports of call. Oops, I didn't ask you to do that. So name the location of one of your ports of call or another location you care about, and then roll. And then you've got a 10+, so word reaches you that choose one. So let's see. What port of call do you care about or want to choose?
You know what? Because we mentioned the cat lady and me having a run-in that nearly killed me, the primordial fields.
Well, primordial fields. Okay. Now,
I'm fine with. I don't need that answer straight away. I'm cool with.
okay, but you need to tell me there's a great opportunity for you there. Ask me what it is, or choose one from the 7 to 9. So which of those do you want?
I'm going to ask for the great opportunity, because even if it's a great opportunity, there does seem massive danger in going to the place where I almost died. So it's interesting, even if it is a positive thing, which, ooh, nice things for my character.
Yeah. Oh, I totally know what that is. You receive word specifically from Cat Lady informing you that their hunt for the giant water buffalo was successful, and they are offering you halfsies if you will haul the carcass to where it can be field dressed, cleaned, and portioned out for meat.
How did I get the message?
It's a great question. Do you have a radio in your vehicle?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Cool. Like a CB radio type deal?
Yeah, CB radio.
Awesome.
Little twirly, like the cop type, cop car, 70s
Absolutely.
cop car.
Yeah. And so you got a message from Cat Lady. They informed you it would be something along the lines of,
Marilyn, I have felled a great water buffalo. I give you halfsies if you come and haul the carcass so that it can be processed for meat.
I think he sits on that for a while. He does not reply that day.
then we'll move away. We'll move away from.
I think
You realize
I
with
think
it
you'd
being
see
a
him
fresh
like at a little
kill,
campfire.
there may be another. Cat Lady may move on to someone else if too much time passes. This is not a forever opportunity for you, unfortunately. But we'll sit on that for now. We see the tenterhooks that Marilyn sits upon as he considers if he's going to actually follow up on that.
Yeah.
Now, just so like as a reminder, in last session, that was a thing on the boards. That was the will Cat Lady kill this water buffalo was a thing that was being bet upon at Solomon's wager. So it's kind of public that hunt was going.
And I was there. So
right, exactly. So it's just a little reminder because it's been a week. Cool. What other start of session we have? Oh, we have some stuff for Ariel. Faux show. You rolled super well in our session 0.
Good. So I need to roll devotion for each of my follower sets.
Yes.
So I'll roll for the cult first. And that gave me a 9.
So in the 9, they offer you all their devotions, but you have to choose one demand for your cult.
Yes. And they only have one demand, which is teaching. So I will have to do some teaching.
Delightful.
And then for my guardians, I got an 11. So they are still quite contented.
They are. Well, they offer you all their devotions and ask nothing in return. Oh, Norvell, and you are in good straits. That's fantastic. So I know how we can start out that session, that scene. Do we have any other start of session moves?
I get to roll Sixth Sense again.
Yes, Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Not easy for me to say.
Same. It's not easy.
I'm glad to hear that as a non-native speaker because I've always struggled with that.
Boop. Hey.
That is a 12. You have so much sense. That's awesome. You hold 3 at any time during the session. You can spend one of your hold to ask me what the MC, what your 6th sense is telling you. I should answer with a warning, an assurance, a clue, or an insight of some kind. Interesting. Boy, there is a harsh penalty for a miss on that roll. Especially in the official, like what was actually released and burned over, where there is no clear path to ever change HX, because as we have all agreed, the session end from official 2nd edition Apocalypse World is what we're using, so the HX can change, but in that without that, Sixth Sense would suck a lot if you miss. Cool. Okay. Good. Let's open up I believe that during the week we chatted on Google Chat back and forth a bit about the game. A lot of excitement. I love that. And there was a mention by Alex that Marilyn had a request, I think, a scene that you wanted. So, Alex, where would you be talking to whatever?
I mean, would we meet up with whatever where we last saw her, or would this be?
Good question. I think I'd like to have some time pass. So that if Screwloose wants to do something with the quadcopter, that's feasible, so that Deadeye isn't sitting on the gurney in front of Dex, and people can kind of shift and move around a little bit. And then also for just for as a general, we did shift the map to kind of make things a little tighter together based on our talk after session. That said, where, Sabine, would you like for Marilyn to find whatever?
I don't know. Depends on whether she had a job, I guess. And if she didn't, she'd probably hang around somewhere where she could find a job. Or some...
I know Marilyn's first route to finding her would be to go on the CB radio, calling around like other drivers, other people who have radios, and basically like ask about fights, altercations, instances of violence, and maybe her by name.
I mean, she's not getting into fights just for fun, right? She's a professional.
Oh no, I know. He still asks that. I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose.
Sorry.
I mean, what would be cool? I mean, what was Dusk? What was Dusk Arrow? That was the kind of wilderness area, wasn't it?
Yes, Dusk Arrow Way is the wilderness that surrounds the carnival, but we've talked about in the map that it's the, if it were the edge of the carnival, the whole thing, then that means that Remedy and stuff would be. So it's kind of the edge of Big Top, right? Just to check in, we all agree that Dusk Arrow Way kind of surrounds Big Top to a degree. People have to make a trek to get there.
Do you think you'd be at Solomon's Wager? I mean, that's where a lot of trading happens.
Yeah, maybe.
Buying.
It's possible.
Hiring.
Yeah, maybe have been hired to be a guard for someone who had gotten something that many people would want, and that.
Oh, so you're actually on a job.
They wanted me to stand around with a big gun so that people would not start long discussions showing their weapons, like, you will give me this for very little scrap because I have this gun. So
cool.
Yeah.
So let's to give that a little bit more context, we'll say that you're at Solomon's Wager, and there's a set of stalls called Strip Mall where you are there to make sure that people don't come up to bargain in poor faith. And that's what whatever's doing. Maybe they've provided you a stool that makes you look taller.
I don't need to look taller. I just unpack my blade.
They didn't explain that. It just happens to. You have to.
I'll put my blade thrower on the stool and just stand around but then I don't have to lift it all the time. And wait, this harness thing. I take a smaller gun. I guess I'll take what's the second largest gun I got. I got so many of these. Damn. I think I'll take the heavy shrapnel gun and just stand around.
Okay, so you got your heavy shrapnel gun. You're standing
read a
around.
book.
People are hawking. You've heard this one person amongst the stalls has this patter where it's like, "Oh, you wouldn't believe this," and you hear that like every 10 minutes. It's almost like you're working in a grocery store and they have the same 8 songs on repeat.
Yeah.
Like that's his thing. Like, you wouldn't believe this. Oh, you're getting a special deal. And then Maryland, you come up. Is the thing where you've already parked and you don't ride around?
Yeah, I wouldn't have driven it into amongst the stalls. I parked it somewhere, set the kind of little catch that, the engine will just stop if you try and go it. Like, it'll stop after like 5 meters if you try to drive off with it. Also, it starts a little ticking sound. It doesn't explode. It just starts a ticking sound because it unnerves people. They tend to get off. And I wouldn't risk a bomb on my vehicle. Yeah, I pass the stalls, kind of like, no, don't care. Don't want your shit. And head to whatever. Whatever?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hi, Marilyn.
You're not working, right?
I'm keeping the peace or something. I'm just standing here so people know that they can't just cheat these guys over there.
It looks pretty. Do you want to go and get a drink and talk?
Yeah, see, I'm working. You understand this concept, right?
Yeah,
I want to
I
go have a what? I want to go have a drink with you. Yeah, sure. I'll talk to the guy who hired me.
Yeah, I mean, it's peaceful here.
Yeah, you know why it's peaceful? Because there's a chick with a big gun standing around.
Just put a sign saying whatever is here. Back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I like that. I'll do that. I got a bit of cardboard and write down that I'm whatever's here. Be peaceful or come back and be not peaceful with you.
Okay.
You're not gonna.
I'll leave one gun shell under the sign so that people will know that I mean it.
You're not gonna tell the client, not that I care, but
Maybe there's a little stick figure hieroglyph sequence below. It's like one stick figure being shitty to the stall, and then he's standing in front of the stall being proud of his shit, and then whatever little stick figure just shoots him to little ribbons.
Yeah, you see the gun shooting and then the little whatever figure holding onto it. Yeah, okay, so we're going. I'm taking my gun.
I take a little moment just to like admire the artwork, I think.
Not mine. It's not mine. I'm better with words than with stick figures. Stick figures are.
Do you actually have this pre-prepared?
Yeah, I do. Sure, I have. I have a sign. I have multiple signs. There was this guy and he needed some bit of help and I gave it to him and then he said, I can't pay you with anything. And I noticed that he had those, that he made these, he makes, you know, the guy who makes these little pictures for people. And I told him, that I wanted to sign.
You know, this makes me slightly more comfortable with bartering with you. Come on, let's get a drink.
I've never done anything in bad faith with you, grumbling. Yeah, I'm packing I have to pack up my gun into my backpack. I have a huge backpack because it's got all my possessions in it, which is mostly guns and maybe a book or two.
You want a hand? Not that you can't do it yourself.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I can't. If I can't carry this anymore, I need a new job.
I think when we get to wherever, I would buy the drinks because I'm offering.
Cool.
Oh, is there actually a stand that's called Wherever?
Yes, there's a trailer that's been half of it's been converted into a couple cafe tables that are a little too close to each other for people to have private conversations. Yes.
When you say trailer, I'm imagining like a truck, lorry.
Yes.
Trailer.
Yes. Like a trailer.
And when you say half a trailer, I'm imagining it literally cut in half, and so it's like open.
Yes. Someone has cut half of the trailer. Half of the trailer still has like walls and a top. That's where they're cooking the food. The other half is just they've shoved a bunch of cafe tables and mismatched chairs that are all together. And whenever you sit down, you end up grabbing, chairs from one of the other unoccupied tables. So yeah, the two of you have a couple of drinks. They're both Coca-Cola souvenir glasses that have somehow survived the apocalypse. Who knows?
I think I would know whatever's drink.
I think she likes coffee. Or anything that's sweet and bubbly stuff. But mainly coffee. Coffee keeps you awake. Awake is good.
I kind of look at her drink and just hand it. But you know the electric circuit.
Yeah, heard of it? I'm sure. Of course I know.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty close to having enough for my steak. You know.
You want to ride the electric circuit?
I do.
Wow. Cool. Nice.
But I want to get to the end of it alive.
You might need
And
a
that's
gunner.
not a given.
Yeah, I know. I've heard stories. You might need a gunner or something.
Yeah. I might.
Wow. Can I be your gunner?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm kind of like,
Wait,
I definitely like pausing for a bit and like not putting forward my bid.
You thought you would have to. You thought you would have to convince me. No, I mean, right. If we win, there's a prize, right? There's a prize, right?
There's a prize, yeah. And
we share that, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
Cool.
like, I'm supplying the wheels.
I'm supplying the guns.
I'm supplying the driving.
I'm supplying moral support.
Okay, 5% on for moral support. So I mean, we're talking 75-25.
Oh, okay, I'm not good at bartering, and I like you, and I really want to drive on this.
Just to insert a little bit, do we want to look at a charm or deceive here for part of this bartering? It's okay if you guys don't want to engage the move, but I know that rolls will cool, and Marilyn hasn't checked that, and so I believe, let's see, is it only on? Yeah, there's no XP. Oh, there's no XP for charming somebody like there used to be in the older version. So less important. So I'll step back. Sorry.
And
I mean, we can roll for. I mean, I have one thing though. You supply food and drinks, right?
Deal, but there's no. I mean, you get what you get.
I want something. I don't want just trail rations. That's
saving for ages.
No, trail rations are no. I want something with I don't know. Doesn't have to have sprinkles on top, whatever that is. But I want something nice.
I got a line on a gig which I was going to turn down, but you fancy a little trip?
Where to?
The Primordial Fields.
Oh, nice.
So meet the cat lady.
Oh, okay.
You know, probably less likely to try and kill me again if, what's that thing called? I point to one of the crazy guns on it.
Which one? Which of the one? I've got a sniper rifle, and I've got what have I got? Yeah, and then I've got. I mean, I don't think, but I've got a shrapnel gun, and I don't think we'll need the blade thrower, right?
No, bring them all.
Bringing them all, but I have to harness the blade thrower. It's not a spontaneous weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go in there with a blade thrower harness, it's probably a bit provocative.
No, yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't owe Dex more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm fairly sure she can ask me to kill my firstborn if she called in enough of the favors I owe. So
you have a firstborn.
Luckily, I don't have one, so that's good.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay,
And you might get some buffalo meat. So.
Sorry, didn't get that.
You might get some buffalo meat part of the deal.
Oh, okay. I like buffalo meat. That's fine. Also, you might. Oh, I'll have to gather up my stuff from where we were before, because I might stay there and get some stuff down myself. Because sniper rifle wants to be used. Oh, see, let's go there.
What are you drinking, Mary? You hear Frankie say as she reaches over and picks up your cup. She takes a sip.
I think I'm actually drinking wine, but I don't know what it's made from. Like, it's
good stuff. You don't mind if I have
some
the
sort of
rest?
root vegetable or something.
Root wine. You don't mind if I finish it, Mary? Hey, whatever.
Sure.
I think there's trouble at your stalls.
Okay. Frankie, thanks for the heads up. I think
Anytime.
Mary wasn't finished. I think Marilyn wasn't finished here, though.
It's cool.
See,
I don't like being interrupted.
I didn't interrupt you technically. I interrupted Mary.
What were we talking? So.
Oh, sorry. I just thought you'd want to know that somebody's fucking around in your stall. I saw your sign.
Yeah, I know. I want to know. Thank you for letting me know. I know now.
And she ruffles Marilyn's hair and then turns and takes a couple of steps and hops off because it's still on wheels, right? So she hops off the side, whistles as
and
she
I look
walks
at you
away.
and I say, she's a bit of a, I don't know. I've only polite words.
She is a major bit of a,
I'll go and take care of the trouble, and then we'll go to the Elysian fields and see what's there, okay?
I follow at a distance because, I don't want to get caught in crossfire.
Yeah, I take out my machete, I think.
Nice.
Just as an argument enhancer.
That does enhance arguments in lots of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We'll cut away from you. So Ariel, how are you teaching your cult?
I think that we see us at the cabaret, and the flock is all about, and I can tell they're a bit restless, and I take to the stage as I am. My friends, my family, I want you all to remember that we are here together. We are all one. one group who can stand stronger than any individual. It is not me. It is not you. It is us. When we work as one, there's nothing we cannot achieve. We will find the magic kingdom. We will become the stars we wish upon. And then I'll begin singing, which, by the way, let's see. Here's the song I would begin singing.
Ooh, we have a YouTube link.
Which, by the way, for those not here, is No One Is Alone from Into the Woods. But it sings a song of unity, and that there are people out there, they're going to have their own people, and if we don't stick together, well, they'll get us.
Nice.
So that's the lesson today.
Lesson: no one is alone. That's pretty good. So it sounds like you're performing your chosen art, an active expression or culture. Are you not?
Yes. So I can roll that, I suppose. That I roll with cool.
Yep. Which unfortunately is already marked, but hey, you still get good stuff if Artful and Gracious goes well for you.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, goodness gracious. This die roller sure does like you guys.
So I can spend 1 for 1 on an NPCs that are in the audience.
Yep, and you can define if you, of course, or you can ask me to.
Okay. I'm wondering, did Embassy go home to the Regent, or did he decide to come with me? I'm guessing went home with the Regent, because I was planning on going to see them.
Yeah, I think that's the way I recall it, is that you would be going to see them, but you've got a little plant in there, which might be more valuable to you, having Embassy near Regent than just with you.
So I think I'm going to choose for, oh shoot, what was the little girl's name?
Oh, you're talking about Panache?
Panache, that's it. Yes. I'm going to choose that she loves me.
Of course.
And let's also let's go ahead and also put that on her father as well. I think I'm going to shore them up.
All right, that was Costco, and I'll stick Costco in our. If anybody wants to find a picture for Costco, that would be cool. And so you chose for Costco what option?
This person loves me.
Okay.
And my final one. Would you like to add someone into the audience?
Sure. Do you want me to add someone, or yeah, I will happy to do that. Let's grab. I've got a names list on column L in case folks were looking for it. I just saw that we had a monk, so that's gone. I'll move that. Let's say that it's someone who is here. They're part of your cult, but they don't reside in the cabaret.
Mm.
And I'm interested in it being Princess. Princess is from Angor's magical wasteland.
Oh, wonderful. I think they're moved to give me a gift.
Got it. So you finish with the song. There's some weeping. There are people who like look to each other. There's some hugging and people sitting close. They really take this to heart, right? You rolled a 12. It's awe-inspiring.
And, once I finish, I'll come down and hug amongst the group.
And as you do, you see Princess is here. She's just recently started coming to attend things. Is there any kind of confirmation for someone joining your cult, or is it catch as catch can? Like they come in, they go out, often stay?
I think that kind of to solidify that you've joined, you give a piece of your creative art. Like you perform for us, or you give a piece of music, or you do something to show you're part of us.
So Princess has been listening in. She's kind of that person who's visiting various churches, maybe, and as it actually, but you see she's trying to, you notice she's standing near you. She hasn't really approached you before. She's always just kind of snuck in, appeared in gatherings, hasn't made a big to-do. A lot of people are nervous around her. She is known to be a violent sort.
Oh, I like violent sorts.
Well, she is that. This time she comes close enough for you to catch her scent. She smells a bit like WD-40. It'd probably be a total turn on for Screwloose. And also there's that, the smell of metal, like guns. If you've ever gone to, so that smell. She's like the smell of WD-40 and heavy metals. She's fully clothed. She even wears gloves. Like there's very little of her skin that's showing. She has long hair that covers around her neck, and you see her face. She normally will paint something across her cheeks, but she hasn't done that the last 2 times she's shown up. She's a little taller than you.
It's not hard.
Sorry, whatever. And she says, Ariel.
Yes, my dear.
She seems nervous, like she had rehearsed this and then is in the middle of it and has lost the thread. What do you do?
All right. Come. And I'll kind of reach out and take her hand lightly and just pull her a little away from everyone. What is it?
When you pull her away, you see that, and maybe Norvell's trained you in this to be able to kind of look at the way a body's moves and the clothing on a body. She's armed. She's got guns on her. You could just tell from the way that the jacket that she's wearing moves and doesn't conform to her slight shape. And she reaches into a pocket when you move her slightly aside, and you can catch that Norvell's like watching this. He's kind of moved near. But Princess doesn't pay attention to that. She seemed, I have something for you.
For me? What is it?
And she reaches in, and you see there's something wrapped in a soft cloth, almost silk. And it's about this long. And she starts to unwrap it, but then instead just hands it to you.
I'll take it and, well, thank you, and unwrap it.
It's a dagger, and you see that there are like these little crusted jewels that are inlaid around the pommel, and when you pull it open, it gleams like starlight. Princess is known as a forger, and the stuff that she makes for the folks of Angor's magical wasteland are highly prized. And this is small. Like, this is a thing you could easily secret away on your person. It's in a little scabbard that has like a metal clip on it where you could just hide it away.
I look at it, and when I look back up, my eyes are like kind of almost full of tears. It's beautiful. Thank you. And I'll kind of move in closer to her, and this is a beautiful gift, and you are so talented.
I know that you will probably never need it, and that is good. But I wanted you to have it, and so there you go.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you're concerned for me. You haven't come and spoken before. You've seemed like you were lonely. But there's no reason to be lonely. You can be here with us. You can always find us here. And we'll be your friends, your family. You can be part of us.
I definitely think you are charming her.
All right.
Unless you have a playbook specific move that you're engaging, which I don't think you.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you're rolling cool again, which you've already marked. You're so good at cool that you're just cooling all the time. All the cool.
I'm pretty cool, I hope. I know I've said something I shouldn't have before I roll.
Well, while
That's
you're
a 9.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Okay. Well, before we resolve that, there was a question in chat that I wanted to get an answer to.
Okay.
Is Screw Loose in the audience here?
Ooh, that's a good
But I
question.
see an answer of him
Yeah,
possibly.
I was
Dex.
just
Well, let's
typing
just
that.
do that. That sounds good. Sorry. Good. So we'll just keep this with just Ariel. So on a 7 to 9, if they don't want to go along with you or call you out, they can choose to ask for evidence, time, compromise, some other concrete assurance. But it's a hit, and I think that doesn't seem appropriate for Princess, other than to say, the Queen of Hearts would like that.
Wouldn't like you leaving.
No.
That's okay. You can stay there, but your heart can be here with us. And you can come back to us whenever you are able. And you will still be just as loved.
You can see her eyes grow a little glassy as she looks down at you. You have touched her. Like, those words struck home. You knew you said just the right thing. It's almost overwhelming for her, to the point where she kind of blinks and says, thank you. I'm sure you have things to do. And she starts looking for a kind of an escape.
Okay, I'm going to kind of pull her in and give her a hug.
She stiffens. Didn't expect this. She doesn't run away, but she seems really unsure of how best to respond. You end up with a hand like right on a blade at her back that you didn't catch.
I'll ignore that.
Probably wise. And then finally, you feel her left hand just curl around and give you a half hug back, which seems to be a bit of a struggle. And then she says, I should go.
Return any time you want.
And then as she leaves, Norvell will come over. It went better than I expected.
She's very talented and sad. We can make her happy. She needs people, Norval. And her talents, well, they'll make all of us stronger.
I hope so.
Watch out for her.
While she's here, I'll keep an eye on her.
She will take time. I don't think she has seen much kindness. And for some, kindness can be cruel because it reminds them of how the rest of the world treats them.
Does the scene feel good? Is there
Yeah.
anything more you wanted to do? Or
No, I'm solid. I think we do see me kind of slide the dagger up into a sleeve, and smile a little.
Nice. Just so you know, that dagger is worth at least 3 barter.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, it'll never go for money, though. It's worth too much now.
I mean, as long as you have it.
Yeah.
So Screwloose is in Remedy.
Well, I think he's probably just arriving like at Remedy, and he's like carrying a pretty heavy backpack over one shoulder, and he's dragging a little cart behind him, which has a generator on there.
Christmas.
and then just comes up and goes like, knocks on the door.
Let's say that Dex at this point, things are calm enough. It might likely be the calm before the storm because Monk told you that the circuit is about to start up. But right now there haven't been too many injuries.
Mm-hmm. I imagine that Fuse is probably still here healing up so that I can keep an eye on her and keep her from doing stupid things like using her leg that I had to pin up.
She's not happy about that. I mean, she can't earn.
Well, she's not going to starve.
Cool. So you and Monk, as well as Lion, are keeping her fed, keeping her laid up.
Yep.
It would likely be Monk who would answer the door.
And then Screwloose me. Hi! I just wanted to check if Dex needed any of her tools sharpened.
I'll check. Come on in. Do you need something to drink?
And then you see him go like, no, and like he's walking a bit funny and like dragging the generator in and like awkwardly holding the backpack over one shoulder. And
Lion, could you help him with the cart?
Of course, Lion moves up and will offer you a hand. This is what's in this.
In the cart or in the bag? In the bag is a belt grinder. The cart is the generator for the bag, the belt grinder, obviously, because it needs to go.
Right. Oh, sorry. Yes. Where do you want it to go?
Take it around the side. There's room for it.
Okay.
Next to the lice station. There's that cement pad.
Right. Got it. She'll get to moving the cart around. And it's got wheels, right, as a cart, so she can handle it from there. And you've got the bag with the giant sander.
I peel out of the thin black gloves and drop them into this vessel of similarly dark liquid, and they just disappear. Screwloose, how's it been?
Good. And like as he says that, you're sort of noticing he's having a bit of an awkward stance and he's sort of holding his hands behind his back and like, good. Just wanted to check if you needed any help.
Same spot as it used to be. Are you all right?
Yes. Just wanted to check if you needed any tools that needed any. If you had any tools that needed any like sharpening and like honing, and just checking in.
My thinning shears have been snagging a bit lately.
Good.
Do you have a fine enough grit to handle scalpels?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got a couple that could probably survive another refreshment. Do you have any ruby dust on you?
No.
I'm running very short. Next time.
I didn't have the room to bring anything other than heavy. Minor question. Like you don't need your scalpels for burn wounds, right?
Depends on the burn wound. Why?
And then he sort of like pulls his hand out from behind his back and goes like,
Go have a seat. We'll take care of this before we do anything else.
A little accident.
And Rich, what is my sixth sense telling me right now?
Let's see. So, screw this. What is the injury from?
It's a welding accident.
Oh, a welding accident. But is that really why Screw Loose came?
I mean, it's definitely the main reason. There's also just a, hey, let's go see Dex.
He didn't injure himself on purpose, but he's not too sad that it happened because it gave him an excuse to be here.
I'll turn over his hand and get a closer look at the wound. You know, they can make you a very fine pair of thick gloves at Primordial Fields.
Yeah. And I do still have one of them.
For the other hand, I'll bet.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. What happened to the other one?
I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
Hmm.
But I need to clean up, I guess.
Well, speaking of clean up, grit your teeth a little bit. This is going to sting.
Wait. Like, grabs the one glove that he still has, puts it in his teeth, and
And then she starts irrigating the burn, which sucks, but could be worse. Pokes around a little bit, decides that it's better to leave things where they are than to cut anything away. And then puts on this odd jelly-like layer over the burn, tugging on this cart, which is like the size of a service cart, but it seems hard to actually push around lazily. It's jam-packed with stuff. And yeah, should I roll field medic?
You should.
All right.
Roll plus sharp.
Hey. Got a 9.
Oof. So
wait,
close.
is there some way I can help?
There you go. You have to ask, how can I help? Which you just did. So
It would help if you stayed still. And also, if you let me know about any chemicals or reagents that the area around the wound might have been in contact with recently. Before or after. Like, did you douse it with something?
I mean, I put it in the closest thing I had on hand.
Which was?
Barrel gas.
You would have been better off not doing that.
Oh, but I thought, like, it's wet.
Oh.
All right. Well, and I kick back in my seat and think again, stroke my chin. Just go. My eyes do this weird flicker thing that you've seen from time to time ever since my accident. All right, I think that I can keep the tissue from going into necrosis if I do a 2-stage flush with that bicarbonate, and then... All right, I'm going to have to mix a few things. Don't dip your hand in anything else.
I won't. Can I help with mixing?
Sure.
Like, you can
Have
tell
you-
that he's definitely in pain with his right hand, but it's like he's too entangled with the idea of like, oh, I can do something.
go ahead and have you roll help. Roll your HX with Dex, which is a -1. Hee hee hee.
Two 6-sided -1. I might as well save it. Wait. Oh, didn't add the dice. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Creating dice is a little bit of a thing.
Hey,
All right, with a 7 to 9 on help, any hit, I choose the most suitable. So I'll give a +1 to the roll, which puts your field medic up to a 10. On a 10 plus, they can recover 1 harm. We'll say the injury was 1 harm. So working together to mix this solution for the gas covered cut. Yeah, you've got.
and I changed my mind about not cutting away some of the damaged skin.
There.
But first, I will definitely use some of the topical anesthetic that I've got, because that's just. And I don't know if Screwloose is squeamish or not, but I give him the option to not look.
No, he's probably fascinated looking at it, like, ew. But like it's like, you know, looking at it's like he's looking at a bug and going ew, but he's still fascinatedly looking at it.
Meanwhile, we show Monk, who's going over, opening up the ledger, marking off the topical anesthetic, keeping track of all the stuff that's being spent on this particular operation.
And then I'm back to that cover of burn gel and bandaging it up. Then I think to myself, I'm like, Then I seal it with a water barrier.
Smart.
And pat his hand between my hands and go, all right, be gentle with it.
You see him like, oh, grab hands. Okay, I can work with this. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So where are your tools?
I'll arrange for them. Lion, Monk, if you've got anything that needs sharpening, today's your lucky day.
Lion will go out and get her strip of scissors, various sizes, and
Screwless will unpack his grinder and like put the belt on and adjust it and attach the generator.
Yep. And I dip my hands back into that vessel of dark whatever and come out with another layer of glove as it goes from wet sheen to this sort of plastic finish very quickly.
Cool. Well, I think per the field medic rule, you will be healed up. It's not a painless procedure, but Dex has managed to make sure that as long as you follow those instructions, you get to keep use of all your fingers. That's good stuff.
Really be gentle with it. It's close to the nerve, and you might lose some of your ring finger dexterity if you let it go.
Oh no, I can't have that. I need that.
You do. Have you seen any interesting salvage pop up lately? I'd like to get at least some of my supplies shored up before the electric circuit.
I was thinking of taking a trip into the bureau later, but then something came up. This came up.
All right. Do you need company for your trip?
Sure. Yes.
I hand over anything that seems too technical for me or too interesting for you to avoid. And I hold on to anything that I can make into a bandage or a mesh.
Deal.
All right. The real prize would be some good blood sub. I'm running low.
You never know.
Ah, I wish I had the equipment to store actual blood. The procedure is easy, but the equipment is hard. Oh well.
I might be able to help you with that. What do you need? Like files? Like
And I start listing it off. It's like refrigeration, vials, pouches, packets, tubing, cabling.
Ooh, tubing. Tubing is fine. I've got that.
I would need to inspect the tubing to make sure that it was non-porous and medically safe.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow, that's a future project. That's a blue sky subject. Oh wait, while you're here, Screwloose, would you like a shave? A little off the top.
Yes. It's getting into my eyes a bit.
All right, let's take care of what's most important first. I take him over to one of the chairs. I sit him down, and I actually wash his hair first and then give him the trim.
Good idea.
How long has it been since Screwless has had his hair washed?
So when was he lost at Dex? Like
That's what I
4
thought.
weeks ago?
Yeah, I probably have a special shampoo solution that I have for not just for Screwloose, but it's probably in a bottle that's marked hard cases.
Mm.
And it's just for the people where you say soap.
Yeah, like, you know, some people have oily hair, but Screwloose literally has oil in his hair.
Probably those things where you just have oily fingers and then you like end up
Yeah, and then
scratching
you
your head. And, you know, it
scratch.
just happens. So, you know, it's totally a thing. This is, I think that's a good bit to end this scene. Unless you guys had anything more, we'll pick back up with you guys heading to Halcyon or arriving at Halcyon.
I think that's all I needed from the scene.
All right, good. Let's go ahead. We're 13 after. Let's take a break. All right, we're back, and we're picking back up at Strip Mall, which is in Solomon's Wager, where whatever was keeping a watchful eye on things until she needed a break, until they took a break, and then you got a helpful hint from Frankie, Marilyn's older sister, that there was some trouble at the stall at Strip Mall, and you head back. Is this a thing where whatever moves quickly back or just moseys back?
I think neither. She just walks back. She's not exactly running, but she is not exactly just sauntering. It's more like a
Right?
yeah, more like a decisive stride. Like, what's going on now? She's playing with a machete.
You make your way back to Strip Mall. The dozen or so stalls that are all ramshackle, stuck together. They have a union where they have enough jingle to pay you whatever, and in for your efforts. Dust Witch, you recognize whatever. What is it that you said to Dust Witch the last time you ran into her?
Hello? I don't know. What would I have wanted
Dust
to
Witch is a
Dust Witch?
ganger. Dust Witch
Oh.
is a ganger who works on the outside of. She's a leg breaker. She and her gang, they follow up on debt collection.
Okay.
She always takes a little extra. So
Probably said something like sorry.
So she's shoved the boy, have I got a great deal for you. You won't believe this guy to the ground. And she's screaming at him, the debts have to be paid. The debts have to be paid. We're just going to have to take all of this. And he says, well, how can I pay? I paid the debt. He says, oh, you forgot interest. You forgot interest, little chum. And so I'm interested in all of this.
And I'm stepping into this and saying, hey, Dustwitch, good evening. Is there any trouble here?
And Dustwitch is kind of, she dropped down to her haunches to stand over because he shoved this guy to the ground. And so she turns her head and looks up at you. Her hair, she's in like her late 30s, and she's got that skunk hair, like where she bleached her hair, and now the roots are starting to show. And you see little bits of crow's feet. She's got a pretty wicked scar on the
do I
right
get to
side
roll
of her
my
cheek.
move?
Oh, you do have an effect.
I have a move, Dangerous Presence. When I enter a situation, roll plus aggro. And if I have enemies here, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yes.
So-
Please engage that move.
Okay.
Oh, you get some choices if you succeed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right? If I roll well, which is not. This rolls very slowly. I do not roll well. I've got a 6. So maybe Marilyn could help.
Marilyn, do you
mean-
want to stick your nose in this?
Does Marilyn want to stick his nose in this?
I mean, if not, then it's fine.
Gene, oh. Yeah, I mean, he's like peeking around the kind of corner, and I think he would like yell like, you need any like help over there, whatever. But he does not make any move to help.
I don't think that feels very much like helping. So if I have any moves, so it's a miss. No, that's not helping.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's like
That's
there's
not.
no mechanical helping. No, I don't think so.
Well, in the way that it
Okay.
works with helping, whatever would define how you could be helped. So what would you
Oh.
need?
What I would need maybe would just for Marilyn to rev the engine of his whatever thing he drives. Just like there's more, just by just by hinting at the fact that I'm not entirely, this whole situation is not entirely.
Okay, yeah.
me.
No, I think you could do that. I think you'd like be parked. He'd park just around the corner, so he would like there'd be like a low as it just comes into view, and then he would just do like one rev when both wheels would go in kind of opposite directions, and there'd be like a slight shift of my like seat in one direction, and not moving on, like just sticking on the spot, and then it'd be like, whatever, come on.
Okay, roll that HX and let's see if that is effective.
Yeah.
You got a 2 with whatever.
Thank you. I can then just think of the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't give me the modifier, so actually I got a 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
So go ahead and mark the XP for helping. And on a
Do
10,
I mark XP?
yeah, there's a mark
Oh
for
yeah,
help
the
under
actual
history.
help. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. For trying to help, whether you did it or didn't.
Yeah.
And I think I'll let that go ahead. They also get +1 HX with you on their sheet. Nice. That is really, really
wow.
slick.
So
That's
I
very
have I put up whatever into a 3.
You helped, so now you get +1 HX with whatever you. By being
Yeah,
so
I'll go from
successful,
2 to
you
3.
kind of know how whatever works and what she needs to make things happen. That'll give you your +1. So you now have a 7.
Yeah, that means I get to choose one.
You do.
But
With
any
dangerous
enemies
presence. What do
here?
you want?
Yeah. Let me read this.
Okay.
Okay.
think that HX actually would go to Sabine, wouldn't it?
You might be right. Let's see. On a 10 plus, they also get +1 with you. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
so
right.
Okay.
You're right. Whatever gets
That's
+1
good.
HX with.
It's
Thank you
helpful.
for rereading it. I'm always bad at the HX pointing and which way. I
The
love
days of the
asynchronous
U's.
stats, but it's always confused me. You're very good at this, Tyler. I will rely on you in future. Thank you.
So it says if I have any enemies here, they put their hands on their weapons, or if I have any enemies here, they freeze and try to make themselves inconspicuous. If anybody here wants or needs my help, even if they don't dare signal me, they look relieved. Or if I have any allies here, they make eye contact with me. I think I would like to know if I have any allies here.
I think that's a totally fair question. And I think you do have an ally here. Let's say that I don't think we've had a Jackabacca, correct? Just double checking. I didn't think we had, but Jackabacca was checking out some of the stuff at another stall. You know that he is a fair-minded individual who keeps to himself but is usually armed, and he doesn't like the idea of we should now name our merchant, so let's call him Dremmer. And I'll put this stuff in chat real quick because I just threw out a number of names. So we have Dremmer, who is the merchant. We have Jackabacca, who is a customer. And we have Dustwitch, who is a collector. And Dustwitch, she's a ganger, so you know if there aren't gangers, like we'll say there are a couple of other gangers here, and there are probably others within a whistle. But right now, you just see Dustwitch and a couple of her fellow gangers. They are pretty noticeable because they always have like one of their teeth. They like joining the gang, you gotta yank it and replace it with a gold tooth.
Nice.
So, yeah, you say that to Dustwitch.
Mm-hmm.
She looks up at you with a scar and her smile showing off that golden tooth. Whatever. We're just doing business.
Yeah, I'm doing business here as well, and your kind of business is interfering with my kind of business. So I suggest that you maybe try to be polite here. Yeah. And
I didn't. She reaches for a gun. I haven't shot him yet. That's polite.
Oh, he's lying on the ground. I don't think you're that polite. Come on. You can't take all of his stuff.
She stands up. And she still has the gun out. It's like a silver-plated, white kind of mother of pearl on the handle. I can't help it if this poor little fool can't stand up. Go ahead and bag everything up, she orders to the other two.
Sorry. I have to. Look, I really don't want to do this, but this I'm hired to kind of protect these guys from people who come to take all of their stuff without paying. So if you pay, sure, but if you don't, so maybe you get to leave, right? Or maybe there's an idea. You talk to this guy, Dremmer, and you two hash it out without you just taking all of his stuff. If he owes you, and I look at Dremmer, maybe you'll talk to her instead of, I don't know, just going to guns and pushing and stuff like that. Yeah? Maybe just have a little discussion and figure something out that doesn't involve me getting involved here. Right? Sound reasonable?
So we pause. It sounded at first, you started as a confrontation, but then near the end, I wasn't sure. Were you angling it more towards charming?
I think I'm angling more towards charming. I don't want to fight all these gangers in here with all collateral damage. And it's nice to know that I have allies, but don't want this to get totally ugly.
Makes sense. It could very well get ugly. Then let's go ahead and have you roll to charm. You have a +1 in cool.
Okay. Maybe it'll find my modifier now.
Maybe.
See?
Can't guarantee it.
Yeah, it found my modifier, and it's an 8.
Did. Awesome. Go ahead and mark cool, because this is the first time you've rolled it. On a 7 to 9, if they don't want to go along with you or call you out, they can choose to ask for evidence, time, a compromise, or some concrete assurance.
Fair enough.
And that's when Dustwitch, she still, again, has the gun out, but hasn't pointed it at you. She glances over at you, Marilyn, for a moment, gives you a look that says she knows you're part of this.
A little awkward wave back.
Interest. Drimmer owes me interest. You
What you say,
want to
Drimmer?
do what you do, that's fine and peaceable. At the end of the day, you march Drimmer to Regent. Yeah?
Okay, so Drummer, you owe Regent? Is that correct?
I paid Regent. I don't understand this interest. That's not fair.
You're a merchant and you don't understand interest? Come on.
I don't understand Dustwitch's interest. This is a lie. She's just a collector. I paid.
And then you'll hash it out with Regent, right? Seems fair to me.
Well, I don't want to go with Dustwitch anywhere. Whatever
No,
you'll come
you
with
go
me.
with yeah. Maybe not. I'll come
Also,
back and
hold
we'll
up.
go. We'll go. Yeah. I'm coming. We'll go to Regent when I'm back. I'll be back soon. That's it, right with you, Dustwitch? You know you can trust my word. Unless I get eaten by a beastie, but that, well.
Well, if you skip out on a debt, I'll come collect. She smiles. That little golden tooth gleams.
I smile back at her and say, yeah, I know. It's fine. I'm taking him to a region soon enough.
She'll lean in. Whatever. You should be careful riding around with Frankie's little brother. He'll cut and run on you when things get hot. That's not good.
Yeah, but I like him. He's kind of cute, don't you think? Look at that hair.
I do like the hair.
Yeah, go to Dex. She might make you hair like that.
Careful now.
What? Not like that, but
careful. She
Yeah.
steps back. Leave Idiot Drimmer here his stuff. He'll make us some more money the rest of the day. And when the stall's close, Drimmer, you come straight to Regent. It's like, yeah. Just whatever will take me to Regent. And I'm not going to deal with you anymore, Dustwitch. So you guys made your deal. You just go. Start slapping some hands angrily, but, also scared of getting shot for it.
Yeah, I'll tell whoever is in charge here that I've got to go now. I'm gone. That they should maybe, get the other guy who does this thing.
Okay.
And I'll take my payment, please.
Yeah, they'll give you a jingle. You did stop Drimmer from getting held up and losing his entire stock. Which one's
Where do I
broken?
put that?
Got it.
In my gear.
Oh, that's a good point. How do we do jingle? Because there's a barter. So I guess you get one barter?
So barter doesn't
How does
work
it go?
that way.
How does it go? Talk to me about it.
In this game? So in Burned Over, this took me a little bit of reading and rereading. Like, barter is literally just a static stat. So let's see.
The barter rating replaces the old system of tracking barter gigs and lifestyle.
Yep.
Oh,
See
okay.
that?
So if your barter matches the cost of something that you want,
you just get it.
You just get it, unless the GM is like, or MC, sorry, is like, this guy's fucking with you, so he's gonna charge you more.
Yeah, see it. Yeah, it's on page 57 of the PDF. When you want barter, okay, you barter something from someone, subtract your barter rating from its value. Value minus barter is called cost. So someone can give you a barter, right?
I don't.
Because when you're buying something,
yeah,
you want to barter for something, subtract your barter rating from its value. That's your cost.
Right, but then look at offsetting cost.
Okay, offsetting your funny actually negotiate for it. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
You know what? We can just say that she spends it on ammunition and then it's fine.
Yeah.
And we don't have to track it right now.
Yeah. I like the idea of not having to track it. I just need to wrap my mind around it. I'm going to grab this out of the PDF and drop it into our character keeper so everybody has access to it without having to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for knowing the rules better than me, because I failed at that. So yay. Do honestly, genuinely appreciate that.
Of course. This pinged my radar early on, and I was like, wait a minute. Barter number's different. Number important.
Cool. Let me do it that way, and then I'm going to need to merge a few cells so that it doesn't take over the world. There we go. That has got some stuff.
I feel we have to go through Dusk. We have to go through Duskara Way, don't we, to get to the primordial fields outside?
I think you do. I want to have Ariel in a scene with other player characters. That is my number one priority for this next scene. How do we want to make that happen? Do we want to say that Ariel needs to, for some reason, be at the Halcyon Bureau? Do we want to say that whatever, and Maryland, you guys end up running into Ariel? What do we think?
Honestly, I don't think there's any hurry to go to the Bureau anyway. That was more of a, like...
It's on the agenda, but it's not like, I need to go there right now.
Okay.
With my burn hand.
I was wanting to see the Regent so I could run across them where they are now.
Ooh, that's cool. But Maryland, whatever, you guys were looking to leave, or do we want to just advance? So Maryland, whatever, you were looking to, number one, you've got this great opportunity, Maryland. Is that the next thing that you wanted to pursue?
Yeah. I wanted to have some guns on my side and then
go to get the water buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're going to need something, right? You're going to have to pull a cart because you can't just throw it on easily, I would imagine. So
yeah,
it's a lot of meat. We're talking about like mega size water buffalo. This is a very, very, very big thing. So maybe you...
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
I was going to say, I don't think just dragging it along would be the,
that would
increase the value.
That would definitely not be the most optimal way. I agree. We're on the same page. So then maybe you're in the process of trying to get set up
Yeah,
with
bit of
something to
haggling.
carry it.
You take care of that, and I'm looking around if there is any
Yeah.
trouble coming our way, because
Yeah.
you know, out here can't be too careful. There are bobcats on everything.
Yeah, I think I found somewhere that's got
Murder
like,
bears.
I think I found a stall that's got something, you know, or an array of wheelbarrows and larger trailers, and you know, all like, you know, a wide selection of things for carrying things. And yeah, in my head I've picked out the one that'll work.
Are you the kind of person, Marilyn, to pick out the thing you want and then act like you're going to buy a different thing and then settle for the thing you want?
I'm the kind who will just neg the hell out of the thing I want to buy that I need.
Cool. So taking a look at your barter, you've got a very good barter.
There's a reason for that.
3 value or more for vehicles and structures. So I would imagine this is probably not that. I think it's a 2 value tool. So the cost for you is your barter -2. So it's 0 cost or less. You have the jingle on hand to cover it. No debt, no sweat. Thanks for doing biz. It's routine. It's yours. Interesting.
Is there a roll or?
Does not appear to be. I've stuck it in moves. It starts on 12. There's a lot going on with it though, so we will get used to it. I think it's an interesting concept. I worry.
Well, I think I'm like looking at the trailer, the trailer thing, and it's like looking it over just very disparagingly. It's like, okay, how much could we take this piece of shit off your hands? I mean, it's.
Oh man, it's. I think it's a thing of leading off like that. This is one of Regent's merchants. And so they're of course they're going to hawk back at you a little bit. What? No. This is fine quality. This is U-Haul.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough.
This is U-Haul.
If you want to waste my time with haggling, yeah, I'll just okay. Drama have this? I mean, maybe one of the other merchant. Yeah, okay. Well, have a nice day.
Harsh.
I guess I am going aggro with the bluffing.
Look at this chrome. Yeah, if you wanna engage a move, you've got it. Like you have the barter. But yeah, if you wanna definitely try to get this for a song, let's have you do it.
Yeah, well, I'm bluffing someone, I think so. And yeah, I mean, an ominous presence nearby that's obviously with me wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Roll aggro, which is not great.
I'll have to roll HX, right?
You do.
Good thing it got a little higher. Sorry. Hello, voice. Still pretty bad. I'm trying.
It did, yeah. It did do the maths. Yeah, I got an 8.
And you've got my help gave you a 9, so it's an 8. My help, so I guess it's +1, right?
Wait, I have an option. So if you take a look at help someone, to help someone, ask their player what they can do to help. If to do it, roll +HX. On any hit, the MC chooses the most suitable. They weren't able to make the attempt. Now they are. They get +1 to their roll, +1 hold, +1 choice,
Oh, okay.
+1 harm, suffer -1 harm. Or you both roll for it and the better roll stands. And just because I want to kind of engage in some of the different permutations, and I also think that whatever is way more better at bluffing and scaring people, because whatever is aggro is way more, I want whatever to roll. So now you get to make a roll of aggro, whatever.
Okay. Let's see. You had an 8, right? So
I got
the
an
better
8,
the better one, the better roll stands. So that's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. He's not going to
Yeah,
make
see, I've got a 5. When I'm rolling aggro, I usually roll like, I don't know. Shit, this is the 3rd aggro roll. None of them was above 4.
You're not even looking in this direction to look threatening. You just like
cool.
I mean,
pushing
it's-
dirt around.
But Maryland's roll stands,
Yeah.
which
exactly.
on a 7 to 9 with going aggro. Hold on. Dang it. It's sorry. It's confront someone, Rich. Jeez, I kept looking for going aggro and it's confront someone. No wonder I couldn't find it in the drop down. 7 to 9. You left them some wiggle room. They can try to escape, bargain with you, pass off responsibility. Okay. So, Marilyn, I can let this go to you, but here's the thing. You're going to be driving all around. You're going to have that buffalo meat. I'll let you have it at your price. All I want, for being so generous with you.
Name it. Well,
And then he pulls out this little like sign that he wants to stick on the back of the cart that advertises his basically his U-Haul hookups and other whatnot.
but that doesn't touch my bike. It goes on that piece of shit. That's fine. I don't mind.
You can't. It's
Can't make it worse.
Advertising, Maryland. You got the hair. You got this beautiful motorcycle. We're gonna put the great chrome enhanced U-Haul cart on the back here with Tum on the back.
Yeah.
So you can't be dissing my stuff.
No,
you can't be dissing my stuff.
I heard you the first time. I'll slap that shit on.
So as Tum is like pridefully putting his little plate on the back, Ariel, you come into the scene. Who's with you, Ariel?
Norval, and I think Panache.
Cool. And you see that Tum, the guy who runs the U-Hauls and carts and all that stuff, is travel anywhere kind of a fellow. He's negotiating with Maryland and kind of letting Maryland have pretty much whatever he wants. Because whatever is here as well. And whatever you pick out Ariel. You see Ariel is approached with a young girl and ever-present Norval.
I'm grumbling and attaching the trailer to the back of my bike.
I'll wave like, "Hey, Ariel."
Huh?
I'll wave and begin moving over towards the two of them. Hello, whatever. It is very nice to see you.
Yeah.
Ariel?
Are you holding up? Ariel, how's the cult business doing?
Cult is such an unpleasant term. We are a family of artists, but it is going well. Thank you for asking. You should come by sometime.
Yeah, I will. I plan to. I mean, so is there a poetry thing going down soon? Maybe.
I believe so, if I remember correctly. That let me get his name.
Cyrano.
Cyrano. Cyrano has been working on something quite exceptional. I'm sure he would be very appreciative if you were in the audience.
I don't plan to be just in the audience, Ariel.
you wish to perform.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time.
And I would be overjoyed to see it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I
You
mean,
are,
it's nothing like your performances or anything, right?
we
but I-
all give what we can, and your talents are so many.
Yeah, I can shoot a gun. I can throw a knife.
You have endless possibilities, whatever.
Yeah, I'm here with
Okay.
Marilyn.
Connected.
Hello, Marilyn.
No. Kid Embassy? Nah, that was a different one. Whatever.
Eh,
Not you.
Interesting that you mention Embassy. I was going to speak with Regent about Embassy. How did she take it when he was not chosen?
She paid.
Hmm. I don't suppose you have any deeper insight to her mood about it?
Can I do like a flashback reader person?
Go for it.
Okay. See what which is sharp, which I think I've got 2 on.
I think you are a pretty sharp fellow.
An 8.
Cool. On a 7 to 9, you hold 2 against them. So spend those 1 for 1 to ask me questions.
Well, what are they feeling?
Supremely disappointed. You, like Regent's words, are very cool, collected. They hand over the payment, all that good stuff. But you have enough of a sense of her desires to know that she thought this was going to go better than it did.
What are they thinking of doing with this new turn of events?
She makes a comment about, perhaps I'll just have a word with Jinx. Get any notes she had for Embassy's performance. She's totally going to try to bribe Jinx or find a way to get leverage over Jinx to make Embassy get what she wants Embassy to have.
She was disappointed, but I mean, she's got money. Makes the world go round.
Yes, I'm sure she has plans. Perhaps I can give her some options. What a fine cart you're purchasing. Are you going into mass hauling business?
Today, yeah.
Oh,
Me and whatever, going out to primordial fields. Got a water buffalo to bring back.
And maybe fight some murder bears.
Or maybe drive away from some murder bears, yeah.
Sounds very dangerous. Whatever, I did not know you were as interested in hunting animals.
I mean, yeah, I've got all these guns. Might as well put them to use, right?
I mean, I'm very much expecting it to be dead already.
Yeah, but if we meet some murder bears and I shoot it dead, we could take it for the meat, right?
I mean, I don't know how much this... I raised my voice and was like, I don't know how much this trail will carry. I mean, or collapse under anything more than a feather.
What?
Yeah, That looks pretty fragile.
Hmm. Speaking of which, have you got any what do you call them? The food makers, the chef.
We have several with amazing culinary talents.
Do you
How
know
are
what
they
sprinkles
hacking up
are?
meat?
How many? I would say that
Hmm.
2 or 3 are most exceptionally skilled in it, but several are learning.
Am I good at hacking up meat?
Hacking at meat. I think that the more delicate end of butchering is within their skills.
Okay.
Why are you finding a dead buffalo? I have to admit I'm a little mystified by this mission you seem to be on.
Got a call for a job which I really shouldn't be taking, but you know, pays. And I've got whatever here to make it less suicidal. So
I'm just here for the murder bears.
Well, I would say that you are well defended. Whatever's reputation is very impressive.
It's true.
Um,
Yeah, you take out one gang and people are like, oh, she's dangerous.
yes, that is how
Strange
people
enough.
usually react.
Hmm.
As I say, I'm going to speak with Regent, but if you would be interested, I have not visited the fields in quite some time. I think you see Norval stiffen
Yeah.
a little at that.
Norval's like he's not going to come out and say no, you can't do that in front of others, but he's totally thinking no, you can't do
I mean,
that. That's terrible.
I've only got the 2 side seats.
Oh, a pity. A great pity.
I mean, we've got the whole thingamajig
Yeah.
at the back, right? I could write that. If Ariel wants to come. And I think out there, Elysian Fields.
Oh, when I say 2
Might-
side seats, he means like the either side of the wheel there is a seat.
Yeah.
Apart from mine. Separate from mine.
Yeah. I mean, I feel not that uncomfortable having someone out there who knows how to handle the maelstrom, and I think Ariel's better equipped at that than either of us.
I
I mean, it's not a free ride, you know.
I beg your pardon.
I mean, she's bringing guns.
I see. Well,
I think I flick a little switch on that little taxi sign, the lights on the side of my ride, and it lights up.
I suppose that I could contribute a little something for the opportunity to sightsee. And also, of course, if you would be willing to accompany me, whatever, at Maryland, to visit the Regent. You both were there for the choosing, and having someone... Were you not there, Marilyn? Or whatever?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Wasn't
okay.
there?
Marilyn was that. So having someone who was present for the choosing may add a little weight to what I have to say. So if you
What are you
will
going to
accompany,
say?
I'm going to offer the Regent a chance for Embassy to study along with my own protege. And I'll reach down and kind of put my hand on Panash's shoulder.
And Ash just brightens and kind of wags her head a little bit into like she's preening a bit under this.
I feel that this is an opportunity for Regent to receive something that she may appreciate.
And the day's not getting any lighter, but
It shouldn't take
Sure.
long.
I mean, I've got to go to Region anyway. With that full drummer.
Well, it seems as though we have an accord, and I'm sure, and I'll kind of pat the little taxi box, we can come to some sort of arrangement that works for us both.
lead the way.
And so I'll head towards Regent.
Yeah. I don't think Regent would be far from this area where you secured the cart, Tum Tum's cart. But I think she's in an actual, like, built building with windows and with chairs and desks and couches, and like it's a nice, a well-appointed place. Her Regent, per her notes, inherited a significant amount of jingle and power. So, yeah, kind of like the idea of this 12-year-old girl who's seated at an executive chair behind this large desk, and there's bric-a-brac of various things that are set on the desk that probably her parents or forebears had purchased over time. And she's got a number of gangers, including Frankie, who are here. They would, of course, give you audience. Ariel, Marilyn, whatever, are you accompanying?
Oh, I thought we were going to the Elysian Fields
that
to
would
get the
be
water
fun.
buffalo. So are we going there first? I mean, I'm good. I'm whatever Marilyn
whatever
thinks okay.
Whatever placement of, do you guys want to go to the buffaloes first?
Well, I
do you want to
think
go?
we're kind of implying that Ariel is going to come with us to
Mhm.
Rodeo
Yeah.
Fields.
Okay,
so
and
Yeah.
for
we
some
were
reason I
just
thought
kicking
Ariel had
this
said,
off.
let's go to Regent, so that's why
I was
Yeah.
thinking we'd go there first, but we could go to
Mhm.
the fields first.
Okay.
I'm going to give an ask here, though, that I know Norval is not going to like, because I don't want to take Panache to the fields.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you want him to babysit. So we'll cut straight into it with the ask already having happened. Ariel, with great respect and love, you should not go to the fields. You should not go to the fields with whatever. You should not go to the fields without me.
Did I hear that?
If you're eavesdropping, yeah.
I'm like, hey, she can go to the fields with me. She'll be safe enough.
Norval, I see your point. It is dangerous to go, but I can't live in fear. I do want to see. But you are correct. I should not go without you. Panache, my sweet.
Yes.
And we're here. Let's see. We're here at where they play the games and all, right?
Or yeah, if they don't play the games, they're definitely betting on them. If they're showy games, they happen around Big Top. If they're just grit and gristle games, then they probably happen at Solomon's Wager.
God, I don't like leaving her here alone, though. That is extremely dangerous.
But does Ariel see that?
Probably not. Do I know anyone here? Do I have any connections in this area?
Of course you do. Although, I mean, one person has a move called Connections. I would imagine that you have some friends here.
Who has a move called Connections?
I thought somebody had Connections. I thought there was a mention of it. Did I miss here? I did miss here. Nobody has a move called Connections. What am I? I don't know. I don't know what I'm smoking. Sorry.
Then I'll go to one of the, if you'll excuse me a moment, and I'll go to one of the stalls where someone I know and at least somewhat trust is, and I will give a bit of jingle. I am quite wealthy, and ask them to watch out for panache, let them play games till the money runs out, and if the money runs out, I will cover anything after that. But I'm giving them, please, I'm looking for something that will entertain her, and I do not wish to come back and find that she has put herself into debt.
Well, with the barter I see you have, I don't imagine the cost for or the value of what you're asking for outstrips your barter. So I think the cost is okay. Definitely
Okay.
gonna have to wrap my mind around how to finagle this. It's odd that a game that used to drive gigs now, like, you just have it. It's interesting. But
yeah, it's interesting. There's no spendable resource for money anymore.
I just need to think about it. So yes, you can secure that. That should be no problem.
We will be back soon, my sweet. And Norval and I will join the hunting party.
I guess Norval's going to be riding in the back in the cart.
I can do that. That's fine if he wants to sit up front on his. I wouldn't want his tushy to be uncomfortable.
Do you two have like a butch off over who's going to be the least comfortable?
I think there's a little bit of
No,
I'm on the other side of the whatever. You should take that bird seat there. That's good for you. I need to keep eyes on Ariel, and if I'm on the other side of that wheel, I can't see anything coming up on her.
Okay, fair point. I'll take the seat. I had hoped that he would do this.
Clever girl.
Yes,
Awesome. So we will end that scene with the three of you heading out on the big motorcycle with the U-Haul with the big chrome hitch and everything else all rusty with a little Tum-Tum sign on the back. Imagining Tum-Tum is like, you guys ever seen that like souvenir thing where it's a souvenir license plate, like the baby size license plate with a name on it, and it just says like Tum-Tum on it. And it's now been affixed to the back of this U-Haul cart, which has been, like there's wood that's been replaced multiple times over the years, but the basic frame is a mostly rusty but still functional cart that can be hooked to the back of your monocycle. So we'll cut.
Does it have any suspension, by the way?
No, I don't think so. It's going to be a super bumpy ride, like to the point where Norvell may be thankful that there is gobs and gobs of meat underneath him on the trip back. But Norville's the kind of person that's going to take it in stride. He's
tough.
He's tough. Yeah. He's definitely going to complain later, but not in front of Ariel. So we will pick up with Screwloose and Dex heading into the Halcyon Bureau, unless you guys, because you mentioned that was just a thing, and I'm interested in it, but if you have anything else that you wanted to do that's more interesting, we could set a scene.
I think that was largely just maneuvering to make space if including Ariel in our next scene was going to happen or not.
Okay.
So I'm totally cool with starting in on our entry to Halcyon Bureau.
All right. Sounds good. So the Halcyon Bureau, first time we've seen it, located underneath the Carnival, are tunnels that entwine and house some of the most entrenched workers and darkest shows. What are you guys after? Why are you here?
I want to go to the secret ruins.
Secret ruins.
Have you told me that?
Probably not.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down here to see if anybody is trading anything from fresh bunkers or etc. Because I really am trying to get my stock pumped up before the electric circuit.
Cool. So the two of you enter the main area of the Halcyon Bureau, which is this like humongous cavernous space with the number one, the advantage of being underground is the constant temperature. Once you get used to it, that is the temperature of this place. It also has, as long as they stay away from the cisterns and the like, access to fresh water. There is an aquifer somewhere in Halcyon Bureau that does provide water to folks. And this is the place that manufactures power for Big Top. We decided that we weren't going to go with the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome idea of how the power is derived. So I think that instead, checking in, this isn't a line or veil thing, but just checking in if this makes sense. Perhaps there is a kind of nuclear power that exists in Halcyon Bureau as we look at the Morlocks, the gray-skinned and hairless folks. So, yeah, there is some kind of underground nuclear power plant that has been running for a century or so now.
It's probably totally safe.
Totally safe.
I mean, it's underground, so it's of course safe.
Right.
For anyone above ground.
But the power itself is in like one sector of the Halcyon Bureau. The aquifer is in a wholly separate. The water has been tested by Dex and your
I
folks,
test it regularly.
and so far the water is okay. There is a countdown clock for when that might change. So the two of you enter. This is the red light district of the Carnival of Bullets. This is the place where you can get the best drugs. This is the place for things that shouldn't see the light of day. And so as the two of you enter this area heading down a dusty, long corridor, it's open to the roof, which is pretty much the underlayment of the Big Top. And there's music here. There are a number of folks who exist here, but it's definitely less of a festive atmosphere that you would see in Big Top. There are not rubes who frequent Halcyon Bureau. People who are here choose to work and live here for their own reasons. And I think as the two of you come down, Popinjay would, who's normally like near keeping eyes on people coming down. There are a number of ways to get down here, but we'll say that there's maybe a major thoroughfare from sorry, as Rich still struggling a bit with certain names, from Dusk Harrow Way and Big Top. And Popinjay will spot the two of you, and he's dressed in his slightly dusty suit, his pair of goggles, in case, there's dust in the air, and his hair that was recently fixed up by Lion. Dex, Screw Loose, an interesting pair. What are you after?
Oh no, we're not a pair.
Oh, even more interesting. What can
But
I
we came
get
together.
for you? That's true.
I'm after any blood sub that you might have come across and any other vaguely medical-looking supplies.
We don't have blood sub, but we have the original article.
How are you storing it?
Right now, it's catch as catch can. Often take it when we need it. Storage is, as you would guess, a problem. We can only
So
store
you're-
a few liters.
Doing direct transfusion is what I'm hearing.
Well, I'm not doing direct transfusion, but I know a person who is.
I'd be interested in talking to them.
It's from the Morlocks, though.
I can make
What-
that happen.
What did Screwloose say? Sorry.
Are those some Morlocks?
Is it from the Morlocks?
I mean, the Morlocks are weird, but not awful, and I certainly am happy with the glove soup that I bought from one that one time.
Writing that down. Glove soup.
That's what the black
Yes.
vessel is. It's
Yeah.
this constantly recyclable
Soup.
barrier so that she can, touch people without worrying about contaminating their injuries. But you can tell that Dex isn't totally comfortable with the Morlocks either.
Fair. So we know what Dex is after. What do you need? What do you want, Screwloose? And he comes up and he kind of runs his hand along your arm. It's like a padding,
Like you
nice.
see him sort of slowly trying to turn away, but not like actually swatting the hand away, just going like, bad touch.
I'll actually insert a finger, just go between and just gently edge his hand off of Screwloose.
Completely unfazed by the bad touch, but respecting that both of you are making him stop, Papa J will say, yes, of course, of course, of course. What do you
Mia,
need?
I'm
Yes.
just passing through.
Peers
I
at
keep
you
a
for
straight
second.
face.
Papa J is good at reading people.
Yes.
I think when you try to lie to Papa J, you need to act under fire.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Act under fire goes cool.
Yep.
Oop. Oh, wow. An 11.
Wow, that is
my cool is just flat, so
cool. And act under fire's 10 plus is the most boring result in all of Powered by the Apocalypse. You do the thing.
The thing you want happen.
The thing you want happens. And he says, oh. Very well, Screwloose. Great. Dex, you wanted to talk to the transfusion clinic. Follow me. That will
I'll
not take
come
you.
along.
Yeah, that won't take you to the ruins, unfortunately.
No,
Screwloose.
I'm just going like I'm coming along for now.
Cool.
Dex will pass through after with me.
Glance around and see how things might have changed here since the last time I visited.
Oh, interesting.
I'll glance at Pop and Jay and say, your eyebrows are just a wonderful shape. Good job.
Thank you.
You could almost say they're popping.
And he laughs like that is the best joke he's heard all day.
And I'll
Like,
spend a sixth sense hold
mhm.
as well. Sorry to interrupt the
No.
amusement.
What do you want to know?
I want to know whatever my sixth sense is telling me about Halcyon Bureau lately.
Oh, cool.
About any shifts. What's the pulse of the place?
I see. So your eyes scan and you get all of these different reads, feelings, and notions. Halcyon Bureau right now, the main vibe that's going on is the excitement for the upcoming electric circuit. You catch that there is some construction ongoing. Evidently, they are adding some tunnel driving. This has been an above ground race, but evidently a new leg is being added. So there's a good bit of effort going on. And you catch sight of Pachinko. Pachinko is the lead mechanic of Grim, who is the undisputed champion of the electric circuit. She's there. You see, she's got a pad taking notes, and the vibe is that if things go down, she wants to stay ahead of it, or perhaps be prepared to be the one to make things go down.
I'll wave and make note and compliment her earrings.
I think Screwloose is also just going to be like, hello, Pachinko.
Screw this. What's new with you, Screw Loose?
Nothing. I'm just traveling through. Yes, passing through. That's it.
Her eyes flick over to Papa J, who gives a subtle shrug as if to say, well, yeah, I think so. Oh.
Flat affect.
Huh.
Well, looks like
What are you doing here?
Tunneling in new lights and
yes,
reinforcing the floor, it looks like.
She lists out a very exciting for you, Screw Loose, array of things that she is checking for this new tunnel that will be a part of the electric circuit.
Which way is the tunnel heading?
Ooh, the tunnel is heading. It's kind of like they don't want to expose the power plant or the aquifer. So it kind of dips down and gives a view of the main markets and the shows in the red light district. So it just kind of is like a zip in and back up. But there are a couple of snaky turns as you head back up towards the...
Should I be worried about the secrets ruins?
Oh, you know, as they continue digging on the tunnels, maybe you're trying to read a situation here.
Yes, I am definitely trying to read that situation.
All right, roll plus sharp.
Yes. It's a 9.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, you can ask me a question.
Right. Bring up the moves.
Let me know if you'd like any help too. You know,
I think he's still like he's not revealing his ultimate destination here yet, so it's like that's sort of a surprise. And
fair.
That said, Jin hasn't rolled help, so that could be an XP.
Oh yes. Okay, in that case, yeah.
Like maybe keeping Pachinko distracted would help, or
yeah, how can you help?
like you'll probably like it's probably like Screws. You'll suddenly notice that he's getting a bit nervous and like, oh, and where's that tunnel going? And like you're observant. You'll probably pick up on that.
And you know, if Screwloose is concerned about tunneling, there's probably a good reason. I trust Screwloose when it comes to engineering concerns. Absolutely. Without reservation, really. So,
Oh, how is it that I'm sorry if you said it and I missed it. How is it that Dex can help Screw Loose in reading this situation?
Like just making sure that keeping what's her
Popinjay
face?
distracted?
Popinjay and yeah, just making sure that there's no odd questions happening.
Keep him distracted. Cool.
I start talking about clothes. And in fact, I will produce a tatty, chewed by rats, but there are still some glossy sections, fashion magazine, and I'll touch someone's collar and say, the pattern on this just really reminds me of this here.
Let's roll a checks and see how well you keep them distracted.
Let's do it. What?
I don't know what the heck that did you
I put in 2d6 plus 1 as hex.
Did you do it as a quick roll?
Yeah.
That should have worked.
Well,
that is weird. Do you want to just click the quick roll 2d6 and we'll work through that? Or you get a +1 to that, so that's a 7.
Squeak.
Yep. You're in there. Popinjay is thrilled with the talk of collars. Pachinko is bored so much that she looks away, but both are effective enough in giving Screwloose a +1, which makes it a 10.
Right. So I'll start with what should I be on the lookout for?
Pachinko, you're interested in the tunnels and their impact on the hidden ruins. Pachinko is here to make sure that things get set up so Grim has some surprises. And those surprises will be here from now until the electric circuit runs, which means that there will be explosives hidden in this tunnel for the next week or so.
All right. I mean, I'm going to follow it up with something that will link into that, which is from my essay to salvage. What is the most useful, valuable, or mysterious thing here?
You'd think it might be the explosives, but
yeah, exactly. That's
it's in actuality you see that they've got one of those tire the like treads rather than tires, little caterpillar thing with a big honking drill on it that's forcing through, and you see that they have drilled into an extant passage and are just going through, and sure enough there are a few symbols that you catch that seem to be pointing towards the entrance to these secret ruins.
And let's see, I have one more. Search. Who or what poses the biggest threat to me?
Pachinko. She knows that whatever she's setting up, you could sniff out. So if she gets the inclination that you're going to tell anyone what she's doing down here, she's a big threat to you.
And I think Screws will then sort of be kind of like, so, hey, Dex, so you need to, like, you were kind of in a hurry, right? So we should skedaddle, run, go.
I would like to be home before the evening. It was good seeing you
Yes.
both. And good luck with the rest of your preparations. I'm sure that the electric circuit will be truly electrifying this year.
There's like a pachinko narrowing eyes, like, is that a pun? But Papa J laughs, and he has this kind of laugh that makes you proud that you made your joke. Like, it's so genuine, his laughter, that even if it's a put on, it's darn fun to hear.
Well, Dex is pleased. She has a certain enjoyment of cracking open the smarm and putting on a little bit of the snake oil show.
She's in the right place.
Yeah.
Cool. So you end up at the blood donation clinic, where you see that folks are sitting around in chairs with little squeeze balls of their hands hooked up to various needles, donating blood. And there's a little bit of OJ around for folks. And yeah, it looks like there's kind of a hastily thrown up blood donation clinic.
I immediately start looking toward the equipment and the operation generally.
You catch, as you're looking at the material, it's good enough. It hasn't fallen into the disrepair where folks will be injured by it yet. And you also see the telltale markings and sigils of Saint Mortal's Sideshow Alley.
Is there anybody overseeing the taking of the donations?
Yeah, Samsung's here.
Do I know them very well?
Samsung has had, yes, I think you know them. I think Samsung has had some training, but nowhere near what you have received. They were not lucky enough to be an experiment. They're probably a little jealous of your knowledge. Dex.
Samsung.
Screw loose.
Right. Everything works here. Everything's fine. No need to get everything to make problems, Dex.
I'm not interested in making problems. I'm interested in making connections.
Right. Well, if you want to make a connection with this needle, I'm happy to take some of your blood.
No. If this is a blood bank, then perhaps what I'm after is a blood loan. I've been trying to stock up before the electric circuit. I expect that there will be injuries among both the talent and bystanders who don't know any damn better.
Makes sense.
I don't really have... Well, that's not true. I do have some good refrigeration, but that's all being used for medication and garlic. But I think that I could probably make room to store about 4 pints on site. Could I trade with you for that? And also keep a little aside as a guarantee of additional supplies should that need arise? Rapid delivery.
Perhaps. What are you offering? Nothing's free.
Well, I've still got a few bottles of good shampoo, including one of my 1-day lice solution.
That one's really good.
It actually works, which is a bit of the old magic.
Is it sulfate free?
Of course. However, I can't recommend prolonged use. It's a nicotinoid.
Let me talk to somebody.
All right.
And then she'll walk out of this area. I'm imagining that there aren't a whole lot of like permanent wall fixtures. People just kind of move along with where caves are. So we're like tent walls that are set up, but she'll walk away and
And I will glide along to follow and eavesdrop.
Awesome.
And
Then
in fact, I'll snag something reflective and use that as a mirror to get a look at whoever she's talking to.
cool. Let's have you act under fire because she does not want to be seen having this conversation.
Cool.
You've rolled so much cool. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I've rolled so much sharp. This is actually my first cool.
Oh, I just saw the click and you were just ahead of it. That's awesome.
I was just on it. I was like, bam.
Oh, you get an improvement, by the way, with that one. Yay.
Yeah. Okay, all right. That's an 8.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall, and I can offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or an unfortunate choice. So you do it, right? You can eavesdrop, and you can do it in a way where Samsung will not know that you're listening in. But we'll say the Popinjay gets a peek.
All right, I can accept that.
So the first thing you notice as you're looking through your mirror and eavesdropping is that Samsung is actually making a call. You hear the click and the slight squelch that dies down as she dials in her little walkie-talkie. And she says, listen, yeah, Dex showed up. She wants 4 pints. What do you think? Then you hear a voice come back over the walkie-talkie. Go ahead. Let her take the 4 pints. Mark one of them. Don't do anything to the blood, though. We want her to trust you. Make sure she's happy before she leaves. Understood, Samsung says. Turns off the walkie-talkie, hides it in a pocket, and she starts walking her way back.
I take a couple of smooth but long steps away. To look upon some other piece of equipment or gear or supplies.
Samsung's none the wiser. She comes in. 4 pints for the shampoo sounds like a good trade. I mean, for someone else, I'd probably ask for a bit more, but we know that it's going to the greater good, helping people out during electric circuit. All that we ask is that you make sure that if anyone is hurt, any positive mentions of St. Mortal's Sideshow Alley in the service would be appreciated.
I could do that. Do you have any personal needs that I could attend to close that gap? Do you need a haircut? Cleaning?
Samsung has a very large afro that it always needs constant care. She said, well, I may stop by.
I have a few oils that might be suitable for relaxing your hair.
That sounds good. Well, I will get the 4 pints up to you when we close up shop tonight.
All right. There's not a huge rush on it. Do what you need to do to make sure that it arrives safely at the correct temperature.
Of course.
What are you doing for leuko reduction?
Rich doesn't know. She knows enough to have an answer.
It's tamping down the white blood cells so that they don't cause a reaction.
Oh, okay. What is a quick and dirty way that you can keep?
I definitely don't know that.
Okay. So she gives you an answer that sounds legit. Sounds like you could do it better, but it would work in a pinch.
It's ingenuity, man. I love it. So I will leave with my satchel on my shoulder still pretty empty, but mission more or less accomplished.
Okay. So Screwless, you know that the ruins may be uncovered, or perhaps they'll just be easier for you to sneak down into after that drill passes by, or maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to have that happen at all. What are you doing about that?
I don't like that idea at all. So I want to definitely go into the tunnels that they've been. Like I'll definitely go like so. Like just since I'm just passing through, maybe we should have a look, see where the tunnels go, and see if they're going anywhere important.
Most tunnels end up somewhere important eventually.
Well, yes. But somewhere important that they didn't know about yet.
All right. I brought a couple of chemical lanterns. And
I've got like a one with a winch. You just have to. It's a bit of work. But...
Well, let me take care of that so that your hand is free.
It does. It's just a bit harder with the. And then he goes like. Meh, 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 meh.
Does he make the quack noises?
Yes.
Good.
That's adorable. Awesome. So I would like to bring our session to a close here because we have some after game stuff to do. We will be picking up with Dex and Screwloose in the tunnels and picking up with Ariel, Marilyn, and whatever, heading to the fields to make the water buffalo meat pickup, or basically arriving at Primordial. Like we'll do establishing shot of whatever for Primordial Fields and then meeting with Cat Lady because that'll be fun. Cool. Let's do our session in stuff. So I've stuck that in the basic moves and I just pulled it up. At the end of every session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one at your whim. Tell that player to add +1 to their HX with you on their sheet or column. This brings them to an HX plus 4. They reset to HX plus 1 and therefore mark experience, which we'll just say mark improvement for that. I meant to change that verbiage and forgot. So you mark a full improvement when you do that. Does that make sense? If no one knows you better, choose a character who doesn't know you as well as they thought, or choose anyone at your whim. Tell them to take a -1 to their HX with you on their sheet. That brings them to -3. Then they reset to HX 0 and therefore mark improvement.
Next question.
Oh, and we have a hold that you wanted to spin. So before we officially close it, please mark your 6th sense.
All right, there's my last hold. So as we start heading for the tunnels, what does my 6th sense tell me?
The tunnels are not hidden from all eyes, and you will be running into Morlocks.
Got it.
Cool. So let's go from right to left on the character keeper for our HX. And hopefully this will be nice and sweet. Ariel, who knows you better?
It would be between Marilyn and Screwloose. Marilyn and whatever, sorry. So I think I'm gonna say whatever.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So I mark you on my sheet, right?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, I'll have to figure out what my sheet
I say
is.
right,
My
then I
sheet.
looked at Tyler to make sure that what I said is correct. Because it's HX
Okay.
related and Tyler's the best.
Cool.
Sabine, who knows you better?
I think that would have to be Marilyn because we had spent a lot of time together, and I think, yeah, and we helped each other.
Yes. Jen had to step away, so I'll go to Jan, who knows you better.
Well, obviously Dex.
Okay. And then Alex.
Definitely whatever, which I think puts her over.
Yeah, I think so too.
And just to restate, you don't mark XP, you will mark a
no,
full
I think
improvement.
if you're over 3, you can go to 3. And if you go
yes,
over,
you can go to
then
3. So if that moves you to 3, then you're okay. If it
I thought you were
more
already
seats
on
with Screwloose.
3.
hit Control Z and it will undo whatever number you had. I don't know what your HX was before.
-1 HX with. Oh, Maryland has. Whatever has -1 HX with me.
Oh, well, that's definitely not what.
It got better.
Get you any XP.
It got better.
It got better though.
It's a 0 now?
No, it's -1. It was -2 before because
cheese and
Marilyn
crackers,
thinks
it's the
I'm a
worst.
problem. But
yeah.
apparently I'm the kind of problem that is less than the other problems that might turn up.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
It's yeah. The maths of what is the biggest danger,
There you go.
Having her with me or not having her with me.
Welcome back, Jen. So Jan with Screwloose chose you. You get a +1 on HX with Screwloose. So and then who knows Dex better? Would that also be Screwloose back? Or
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah, Marilyn, if Marilyn ever just chooses Dex, then Dex will reset and mark improvement because you're at 3. And then if Screwloose ever chooses Marilyn, then that'll be a reset. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I like that marking improvement is different than marking XP.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love. I mean, from a person who likes baseball, I like the 3 and the 3 because it feels like outs and innings and strikes and all that stuff. But it is weird to like mark 3 XP to get an improvement, but you need 3 improvements before you do a thing. But it's not so bad. It basically means you're doing 9 stuff to get an advancement versus it used to be 5 stuff.
Yeah.
But it's it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just stop the recording here. And we'll do our wonderful feedback. Thank you all for playing.